Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
I'll
It
hand
is.
over the host to you so that
Hmm.
you can admit them subsequently and
Hmm.
then proceed further
Hmm.
without wasting time, because
Yeah, exactly. It's four. It's already four actually.
and as such internet is creating a problem, so we don't know
Hmm.
how far it will go. But let us continue. Hopefully
Hmm.
we should be all right.
Hmm.
Right?
Okay.
So I hand
So
over to
should I?
you,
Should I? Okay. Thank you.
and then Rupesh is here. You
Hmm.
can
I
Good
can see
evening, ma'am.
Rupesh. Very good
thank
evening,
you.
Rupesh. How are you?
Fine,
So,
fine, ma'am.
so are you attending the classes from the beginning?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Rupesh, it's
Yes,
mostly
yes.
Kelly, most consistent. I think from the Noida chapter, if I would have given the the prize of the most consistent student, it must be you. You know,
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
for for the first semester as well as the first second semester, isn't it? So good to see you. Always the first student to be connected.
Now I have
So,
been become a live member also at the
life
ST.
member you have become
Yes,
good.
yes.
Congratulations. So you are
Thank
the
you.
part of the Noida chapter now, huh?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So you, where is your address? Where you're residing, Rupesh?
Vaishali, ma'am, Ghaziabad.
So by default you'll be coming. By
Yes,
default you'll
yes,
be
yes,
coming, na,
yes,
into
yes, ma'am.
that. Okay, the students are coming. In fact, Sonakshi is also there now. Eh, Hi, Sonakshi. Can you hear me, Sonakshi?
Hello.
Hello, yeah, Sonakshi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Because today is such a networking issue, in fact, and in mine case, though it's usual. I'm at 20th floor, so that's why from the Burma ji is also reporting for since morning. There's so much a networking issue, in fact, so you people need to bear. So right now it's okay. So Sonakshi, from which chapter you are?
I am from the 83rd chapter, ma'am.
What's a Noida chapter only?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you're from the Noida chapter, I believe it. So you're doing all the classes, Sonakshi? You're attending all the classes?
Ma'am, I could not attend the last class, and I actually wanted to say sorry to Verma sir also today.
Hmm.
I'm working along with my office also. There's some serious issues, so I was not able to respond in a lot of classes today.
Actually, today also, so you are in office. From office, you are attending. It's great. That is the only great thing that you are attending the classes, Sonakshi. So, okay.
So,
We
ma'am, so
Hmm.
I like apologize in advance in case I'm
Yes,
not able to respond to you also. So I'm
it's
sorry for
okay.
that.
It's okay. I got you. You are in office, so then I won't be disturbing you. As much you can hear, you should hear. You get
Yes,
connected.
ma'am.
So we will not
Yes,
be
ma'am.
disturbing you. Okay. Okay. So
Thank
should I
you.
share my screen now? Should I share my
Yes.
screen? Delete. Just a moment. Slide mode. So can you see my slide, you
Yes, ma'am.
people?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So last session we did the implementation
Yes, ma'am.
process, managing the implementation procedure. Can you recall, Rupesh? What is the flow chart of that, managing the implementation process?
It was input, process, and output. So input may we have
Hmm.
discussed the program development plan, instruction plan, and
Very true. Very Very
instruction
right.
equipments and
Very right.
food and services facilities. I mean,
Yeah, all
trainer.
the yes,
Yeah.
the physical arrangement, all the
Yes.
yeah logistical arrangement.
Logistics alignment.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
Then the instructional plan, which is the today's topic,
And
instructional
training
plan,
policy
the
also we have
training plan,
discussed.
because last time that's why instructional, yeah, training policy. No, that is the part of the managing the implementation procedures. What
Yes,
should be
yes.
the logistical arrangement? What should be the physical arrangement? What should be the processing? How to first the test run is done of the training program before the
Right,
full
right.
fledgedly we are deploying the training program. So that is the dry run we used to call. Then the pilot
Yes,
training
pilot
is
run.
done, which is the first full fledgedly the launch of the training program, and then we are continuing with that. And then the training policy is meant for the for taking the commitment
Yes,
of the
yes.
employees as well as the as well as the taking the commitment of the management. Both
Management.
we are taking through the training policy actually. So we had discussed that. So today in input part, instruction plan I had left, and that is the actually I'll be coming to the first slide. So today's topic to be covered is the preparation of the training plan or instruction plan or program development plan, anything you can call it out, training session plan it is, and the preparation of the training budget. This is the topic we are going to cover today actually. Okay,
Yes.
so this is the training plan as you have seen actually, because the implementation part input is this. So when we're talking about the training plan is created at which phase, who can tell me at which phase we are creating the training plan? It was the input of the implementation phase. Phase is the fourth stage of the AD
Fourth.
model.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we are what we are doing actually, implementation phase we have discussed before actually. It was coming after first stage of the AD model is the training need analysis. The output of that
Design
is
development. Design
learning
development.
objectives.
Yes. Learning
Then come the
objectives.
training, designing, yeah, and exactly, and the development phase. So training plan is developed at the development phase. Input you can see that facilitate learning
Voice is breaking, ma'am.
and transfer, then alternative instructional method. Voice is breaking again. Yeah, this is the, I think since morning actually is the
Yes. Yes.
problem. What to do? I don't know.
No, everywhere, ma'am. We are also facing the
Today,
same problem.
overall networking issue is that there actually. Overall is the problem. Just bear with me because I'm into the regular sessions also in the morning. The students were so much. I was feeling so guilty watching on the videos also because the 20 experience with me in the last semester also, Rupesh.
Yes.
How
Yes.
much was the in the winters also? How much was the networking issue at my place? 20th floor we are. So networking is a usual issue. So is it manageable right? Hear me? Hello? Hello?
Now it's okay. Now it's okay.
Now it's okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what I'm telling you today we'll be discussing about the preparation little about the and then what is the process of the development phase, and then what is the output of the development phase. Input of the development phase will be so good to see you, Jitendra. Jitendra is also connected. Who learning outcomes, the topics we are having, then hello. this. Okay. Process part is the instructional strategy actually. So instruct output, you can see it out. Output of the development phase is instructional development plan or the program development or the training plan actually. And it includes the instructional material, instructional equipment, trainees and trainer manuals, facilities and strategy. So little about the strategy we'll be talking about right now before coming to the output instructional development plan, because the today's topic will be talking about the preparation of the training plan actually. So before that process, it is the part of the training plan, is the part of the instructional strategy actually. So first we'll be tell what is the input is the input of the development phase is the output of the designing phase, target group who will be the audience, what will be the training topic, then the methods. This will be the input and the process will be the instructional strategy. What is the meaning of a strategy? Because in the first semester also we had done. What do you mean by the strategy? What do you mean by the strategy? Who can tell me? We have done organizational strategy, we have done into the first semester. What is the meaning of the strategy? Strategy is a simply a plan. Okay, so strategy, instructional strategy, when we talk about that, this is the plan to achieve the learning objectives. The instructional strategy is the first step of the development process, and it is a written document also called as a training plan. So output of the this process is the training plan, the program development plan, which is a written document, which will be how we are preparing it out, this written document that will be discussing in length today into the today's topic actually. So what does the instruction strategy? It is listing of all the elements of the training, including the individual module or the title name or the topic, organization name, timing, methods, instructional methods, and material being and material being used. Start focus of the designing phase. So output of the training need analysis is the learning objective, but learning objective is written and created at the designing phase, and the designing phase output is the training plan, which is created and the written at the development phase. So these are the, because I had told you this is the beauty of the AD model. The one step output becomes the input for the next step. So that way the training need analysis output is a learning objective that is guiding the total planning of the training actually. Guide the trainers at the development phase what they're doing it out. अब देखिए आप last sentence you can see it out. Output of the development phase are the inputs of the implementation phase, which we have already discussed into the last sessions. That implementation phase, what are the inputs? Development phase output. What is the output of development phase? Is the instructional plan, the training plan, the instruction material, the instructional equipment, the trainer manual, facilities, what facilities, what physical should be the, who will be the trainer. So these are the output of the action phase. So this is the connection. But before coming to the preparation of the training plan, actually, I need to give you the total overview of the instructional framework, because being trainer, being training consultant, or the being training professionals, actually it is very essential to have the concept, you it is very essential actually to have the conceptual base of for understanding the core curriculum, for understanding the instructional decisions actually, because it enriches the artistry of the teaching in fact. So I first, before coming to preparation, I would like to give you the instructional framework, the total overview actually. You can see it out. What is happening at the designing phase? We have already decided out, because the designing phase, training design begins with the decision make at the need analysis. So when we starting the instructional framework, we are starting with the instructional model, and which is the end of the designing phase. Designing phase, we are deciding which model, instructional models we need to work on, and you can see it out, because here you are having the connection. If you'll be following this instructional framework, you'll be having the conceptual clarity actually, how to move on. So first instructional model, we are deciding at the designing phase actually, which model we need to work in. Is the first instructional model represents the broadest level of the instructional practices, and it presents a philosophical orientation to instructions. Models are used to select and to structure the teaching strategy, methods, skills, and the activities for a particular instructional emphasis. As per the actually, it's as per the Joyce and Will, they have identified the four models of the instructions. Instructional models are four types. You can see it out. First is information processing. Second is behavioral model. Third is social interaction model, and the fourth is personal model. So at the designing phase, being trainer, we should have the clarity which model we are going to work, whether we are going for the behavioral model, whether we are going for the social interaction model, whether we are going for the personal model, whether we are going for the information processing model actually. So when we are having this clarity, then we can move ahead with the instructional strategy, then we can move ahead with the planning the program development. So we start the prep instructional strategy. As I told you, this is the first step of the development phase actually. So and how we are deciding the which instructional strategy as per the instruction model actually. Instruction little discussed before I say. So strategies actually determine the approach of the trainer that may takes to achieve the learning objective. Instruction strategy is a plan to achieve the learning objective, and the instruction starts the four direct instructional strategy, indirect instructional strategy, then interactive, then experimental, and then independent strategy. So these are the five types right now. Only this work is up for program, that is the instruction model. We are deciding instruction model. The being trainer we need to work, and then as per that we are choosing the instructional strategy program we are planning to give. Deciding the instructional methods, okay, by which method will be giving the training. It will be the all on the job, it will be off the job, it will be the CBT, e-learning, or it will be the simulations. It will be the types are written, but the major categories of the instruction methods are either on the job, off the job, CBT, or the e-learning, or we can go for the blended also, or we can go for the others method also. They are so much into the, so you can see it out. So these are the types instructional method. As instructional strategy, we are choosing the instruction methods actually. And the last approach is the instructional method. When we talk about what is the instructional method actually, methods are used by the trainers to create the learning environment, so in which the trainees will be learning and the trainers will be imparting the knowledge. The instructional methods are used generally to create the learning environment and to specify the nature of the activity in which trainer and learners will be involved during the training sessions actually. While the particular methods are often associated with the certain strategy, some methods may be found within a variety of strategies actually. So you can use it. These are the interrelated actually. We cannot. It's not necessary that we should stick to one strategy. I'll be showing you afterwards also. It are interrelated actually. Doesn't need to stick to the one strategy. Doesn't need to stick to the one instruction method. They are correlated. They are related to interrelated with each other actually. So once the instruction methods are decided, then we are coming to the instruction skills actually. Instructional skills are the most specific instructional behavior. Instruction skills are the most specific category of teaching behavior act. They are used consistently. Instructional skill क्या होता है कि they are used actually consistently as part of the total process of the instructions. They are necessary for procedural purpose and for structuring the appropriate learning experiences for students. Getting it out? So instructional strategy, as you can see it out, they also include the actions like a planning, structuring, focusing, and managing. So this is helping in planning, structuring, focusing, and managing. Which skill? And after that, we are planning, structuring, focusing, and managing. It you includes the techniques like a questioning, discussing, then direction giving, explaining, demonstration. So these are the techniques which is used by the instructional skills, in fact. So if I'll be talking about, are you getting it out, the total instructional framework? Okay, first we are designing the instructional model, then instructional strategy, then instructional method, and then we are deciding the instructional skills, and then we are moving ahead with the planning and the planning, managing, and the structuring and focusing part. Okay, so what is the relationship between that? What is the relationship between instructional model, strategy, methods, and skills? So you can see it out. Kiki, model, instructional model talking about actually. So it is the broadest part of the and as we are going down, we are our approach is narrowing. So instruction model is the broadest approach. Then we are narrowing down more and more. We are narrowing towards the instructional strategy, then method, and the skills are the most specific actually. So this you can in this figure you can see it out that we have illustrated the levels of approaches in instructions ranging from the instruction model, a broad approach, to an instructional skill, a specific teaching behavior or the techniques. With each level, the potential exists for developing both the science and the art of the teaching actually. So this is the relations. Model instruction model is a very broader concept. Knowing our approach towards the instructional strategy, which is strategy we want to adapt. It's a direct, indirect, independent, or interactive, or experiential strategy. And then we give the training, and then on which skills, instruction skills will be planning for. Okay, so this is the relationship between that. Coming to the structures, because this is the part of development phase, the process is the instructional strategy. So as you can see this figure, what they're showing, it's showing this figure that instructional this strategy, types of strategy, they're correlated, they are interlinked with each other actually. Although instructional strategy can be categorized, but the distinctions are not always clear cut. For example, I am giving for to make you understand this figure actually. A trainer may provide information through the lecture method, that is from the direct instructional strategy. And while using an interpretive method to ask participants or the trainees to determine the significance of the information that was presented, that becomes from the indirect instructional strategy. Okay, so what I'm going to say, if once you're adapting the instructional strategy to 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 plan for the training program, it doesn't necessary that one strategy you need to stick to. They interlinked. Some part of the training program you can add, you can present through the direct strategy, some part through the indirect instructional strategy, some part through the experiential learning, some part you can make it an independent learning for the independent learning, and some part you can make for the interactive learning. And it is a mixture of that only is the effective methodology actually. We should not stick to the one instructional strategy method actually. So it is always advisable to interlink with each other, some portion through direct, some portion to the indirect, some portion we should make it interactive. Okay, so that for engaging the student, so that there should not be boring sessions actually. And some should, okay, so are you getting it? Any question till here?
No, ma'am, it's okay.
Last figure, last figure, figure I'll be showing it out, and then I'll be giving you the what we are deciding. You can see the overall picture. As per the instructional strategy, we are deciding the instructional method. If you are adapting the direct instruction is strategy. So what is the direct instruction strategy? Anybody knows? What do we mean by this? What is the direct instruction strategy? Why to use, where to use, when we are adapting it out. Acha, model I show you that we can either go for the behavioral model, whether we can go for the personal model or the social model or for the information processing model actually. अब suppose these days labor laws amendment had come from the government side. So labor laws is amended from the government agency.
Yes, ma'am.
So when so on which model they will be adapting the government companies to pass these informations, what amendments have come under the labor laws? Just tell me which instruction model they will be following.
Model means
I show you the model. There are 4 types of model. You can see instruction model are the 4 types: information processing, behavioral model, social interaction model, and the personal model. The courts have been 4 courts. Under the 4 courts they have mentioned all the labor laws right now, which
yes,
was supposed to implemented from the 1st of April, but
1st April.
it has been postponed. But it has been postponed. It has not been implemented right now.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Exactly, isn't it? So I'm telling you, if the government, because the laws are amended at the level of the central government,
Right, ma'am.
but they're making it aware to the corporates, to the employer, to the employees, to the agency, to the consultancy. How the messages are, informations are coming towards us? Which model they're working? Which model of the instruction they're working?
It will come through notification. I mean,
Anyone? Anyone can tell? Let us be interactive. These are the practical things.
ma'am, notification comes to the government, I mean, local authorities, and then pass to the industries, I mean, corporates, industry, and concerns.
So are they conducting the workshops also? How the PSUs are coming to know, how the multinational companies are coming to the employees, how it is reaching to the employees?
Yes, yes, definitely.
So which model, that's what I'm saying, which instruction they're passing the instruction, they are the instructing now to the
Yes, yes.
various agencies actually. So
Yes, yes.
what model, that's why I'm asking. This is the information processing model, because it is amended by the central government actually. To only they are passing the processing the information, they informing to the various agencies actually. So this is the model they are following it out, and as per this model the instructional strategy will be following, which strategy they will be adopting. So in this case actually, which strategy they will be adopting? Simply they need to pass the process the information. So which strategy be adopting? This is the first direct instructional strategy. Direct instruction strategy is highly instructor directed and is among the most commonly used. It is easier to plan and easier to use. This strategy is effective for providing the information step by step, for developing the skills step by step. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Now it's voice is coming.
Disconnected. Can you Are you able to see my slide? Are you able to see my slide?
No, ma'am, no. Only
No,
voice is
again.
now coming. No
Acha,
slides for the last.
only voice is coming.
Voice is also.
Okay, so I'll have to share it. Voice is also breaking.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Oh. Still not able to see?
No, ma'am.
Again, I'll have to do the sharing, I believe. What to do? Hello, can you
Yes,
see now? Can you see? Can you see the slides?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay,
No,
okay.
it's okay.
Now it's okay. So, okay. So, have you understood the instructional framework actually? First, we are deciding the instruction model, then instructional
Yes.
strategy, then instructional methods, and then instructional strategy
Skills.
and
Yes.
the skills. And then relationship is from broader to specific. We are moving towards. We are narrowing our approach in deciding from the instructional model is the most broadest approach. Then we are narrowing more and more towards the instructional strategy. Then methods and the skills is the most specific category of the behavior. Okay, then I have shown you this key direct whatever strategy we are adopting. As per the strategy, we can adapt the instructional methods as well. If the direct instructional strategy we are adopting, which is the teachers directed or the trainers directed strategy, then you can adapt the possible method like a lecture, demonstrations, questioning, explicit teaching. So these are the methodology you can use as a direct. You are adapting the direct instruction strategy. When you are adapting the indirect instruction strategy, you can go for the case studies, problem solving. These are the instructions. You can go for the concept formation. You can go concept mapping, concept attainment. Then the closed procedure. What is the closed procedure? Somebody can tell me what is the closed procedure? Can you see indirect instruction strategy? The method we are adapting is one of the method is a closed procedure. Methodology you have done so much in elaborate manner into the first semester also. What is the closed procedure? Anybody can tell me?
Close procedure.
No.
Close procedure I have read somewhere in I mean in IR issues and I mean confidential. If anything done confidentially.
That is actually different, because here we are talking about the instructional method. It's a type of methodology.
Methodology, yes.
Yeah, it's a type of methodology, instructional
Yes.
method actually. Closed procedure, what we're doing with the learners actually, it is a technique in which words are deleted from the passage actually, so that the participant should be forced to use their experience and knowledge to find it out. Getting it out. This is the
Yes, sir.
methodology actually. So in direct instruction, then experiential learning, when we are doing it out. So what type of the methodology we are adapting? We are simulations, games, management games. We are adapting role playing, kinetics, then field observations, model building, surveys, fielding the experiential instructional strategy. So independent strategy, when we are adapting, then the methodology as per that we are adapting is the essays, computer assistant instructions, reports, learning activity package, corresponding lessons, learning contract, homework, research projects. These are the independent. We are asking the learners to learn themselves through the research reports, through the essays, through the reports, through the getting it out, through the projects, research projects, through the learning centers. They are learning. These are the independent learning methodologies actually. Okay, and then interactive instructional strategy, when we are adapting after as per the model, then we can adapt the methodology like a debates, role playing, panel
Yes, sir.
discussion, peer practices, laboratory groups, then the problem solving, getting it out. So these are
Yes,
the
sir.
interviewing. So these are the methodology. What I'm trying to make you understand, that this is the clarity of the concept, clarity of the trainer should have, that what is the model we are working on. As per the model, what should be the instructional strategy, and as per the instructional strategy, what should be the instructional method, and as per the instructional method, then we are coming to the most specific instructional, which is skill we need to work it out. Okay.
Right.
So after all this, because I'm coming to the training plan, the preparation of the training plan. This is the topic today actually. Okay, the today's topic is the training plan. So training plan, what is the training plan? Who can tell me what is the training plan?
This first time after years.
Tell me.
Also,
What is the training session? What do you mean by the training plan? Training plan means planning for the training sessions. Someone whose is, I can see. Oh, sorry. On the someone background, so much noise is there. Can you mute yourself? Yeah, okay. So coming to the topic, what is the training plan actually? So our training plan is actually an organized descriptions of the activities and resources you will use to guide your participants towards a specific learning objective. So coming to the preparation part, first you need to understand what is the training session plan actually. So when we talk about the training plan, that means I'm telling, that means we're talking about the planning for the training session, organizing the key concept of the for the learning. So it is an organized description of the activities and resources you will use to guide the participants towards a specific learning objective. The training plan, it is the details of the subject matter that you will teach. It details, training plan, it details the subject matter that you will be teaching, that then how long each section should take, then the method of instruction for each topic covered, and the measures you will use to check that people or the participants have learned what you have needed them to learn or not. So these are the things which are included. So to a training session plan should include the title, mm, module, session module, or the session title or the topic, and then the key learning objective, then the key learning points or key messages for each sessions, then the instructional method or the methodology or the techniques which we have already discussed about, and then time, what we should be the timing actually. So these are the things which are the part of the session plan actually. So a session plan, when we talk about the preparation of the training session plan, so we should start by through the using the training session plan template. here I'm showing with one the sample of the training sample in the training plan. Actually, you can see the one sample. What is in the beginning? Actually, it's a learning objective. Getting it out? It's a learning objective first, and then there is a stage stages. You can, which stages you will be given providing this training actually. So what generally, what are the stages we are including? Anybody can tell me कि what are the stages generally we are preparing the training plan? What is stages we use? Anyone? I know Samas is so much making the dull to all of you.
No, no, ma'am.
No, stages in general actually in the training session, when we are preparing the training session plan actually, what will be the introduction part, what will be the main body, what will be the conclusion, how we are going to conclude it out. So I'll be showing you the complete after discussing it out. So first, what I'm trying to tell you actually, okay, for the preparation of the training plan, we should actually start with the sample template. Actually, we should use the training sample. So develop a session plan. It's useful always to use a standard training plan template, and this help you organize material consistently over sessions and avoid the duplicating actually. After that, you need to use certain steps for preparations of the training plan actually. Which steps are these steps? So how we are developing the session plan, we are following certain steps. So step one is, as you know, the first step is always defining the learning objective. Okay. Second is the clarifying the key topics and the related concepts, then organizing the material. Step three. Step four is the planning the presentation techniques or instruction method we need to decide, and then the learning is, and then evaluation, and then the focus on the timing. So these are the 6 steps in general we are actually using to develop a session plan, and then we are deriving the data from each step, and then we're inserting into that template which we are using it out in the beginning. So to always it is useful to use a one standard training plan template, and then follow these steps, derive the data from each steps, and then insert into it out. So coming to the defining the learning objectives. So you all know in last session also we have discussed so much about the learning objectives. So learning objective is the outcome. Learning objective is the output of which steps? Which phase? From where we are deriving the learning objectives? This much time? Which step you are getting? You people are getting the learning objective. Okay, what will should be the learning objective? Training objective. From where you are deriving?
From design development plan.
No. We are writing actually there, but the output of the learning or training objective is the output of the training need analysis phase. First
Okay,
phase.
okay. Analysis phase. Output of the analysis.
Yeah,
phase.
because from there you are identifying the needs and the gaps. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
Yes,
So
yes.
training, defining the learning objective is your first step. So your first step is to specify what you want your trainees to learn and determine how you will measure this actually. So here I'm showing you the first step right now. Step one, defining the learning objectives. We have discussed that we should use the criteria of the SMART actually. For defining the learning objective, we should use the criteria of the SMART. It should be the learning objective should be specific, it should be measurable, it should be
achievable,
yes,
achievable,
and then realistic and time bound. Exactly. Here you can also use the ABCD learning objective model also to set a training that comprehensively addresses your learner's need. What is this ABCD model actually? ABCD model is A for audience, B for behavior, C for condition, D for degree. And in this, the C and D is optional, but you should have the answer of the A and B. For writing your learning objective, A and B is mandatory. that who should be the target group, who should be the audience, who should be you need to determine who will achieve the objective. Okay, and then B is also the mandatory part, behavior.
Behavior.
That what they define the behavior needed at the end of the session. Okay, define the declarative knowledge which they need to have at the end of the session. Learning outcomes, when we talk about the learning outcomes in terms of the declarative knowledge, it can be in terms of skill improvement, skill enhancement, in terms of reaction, in terms of self efficacy. So what type of behavior, we need to specify it out, we need to define the behavior needed at the end of the sessions actually, and then see for conditions that specify the condition under which knowledge will be used, under which the behavior is to be performed. And the D is the determining the degree of the knowledge needed. So degree of the knowledge means D, as I told you, C and D is optional. So D is, if possible, then state the criteria for acceptable performance, speed, accuracy, and quality. So that degree you need to specify if possible at this while writing the learning objective. So by using the this formula, you can create clear and effective learning objectives. Otherwise, I had told you you can use the SMART criteria as well. Either you can use the ABCD learning objective model, or you can use the SMART criteria to define the learning objective. So first step, you need to write down the learning objective, and then you need to insert into the template. Okay. Then second step is clarify the key topics and related concept actually. You need to have the clarity of the key topics now. And the key topics when we're talking about, so your class will be focused on the few central ideas or skills, but you need to explain related concepts to reach your learning objectives. So list your key topics and their related concepts, and then group them together. For example, I have shown into your picture, you can see it out. This is the affinity diagram. So at this step, you can use the affinitive. So using an affinity diagram, so you can organize the information and ideas into a common theme. You can see it out. First picture is the unorganized ideas. Affinity diagram, and what we are doing it out, what steps we are following it out. Okay, first we are transferring the ideas into the sticky notes, the unorganized ideas, and then are then we are shorting ideas into the theme under the headers actually, and then we are discussing together, and then we are super groups, we are making it out. As you can see it out, last I have given you the example, why are we having so many customer service problems. So this is the actually right now we are having the problems we have identified at the training need assess analysis, that we having the problem with the customer services actually. So why are we having so many customer services problems? So we discussed with the customer services department employee, and the outcomes which came, unorganized ideas which has come, you can see it out what has been written. Not enough call center staff, low staff morale, untrained call center staff, no measures of what is good and bad, staff feel underappreciated, staff aren't paid enough, then inexperienced managers, varying product quality, no standard systems. So these are the problems which are creating the poor customer services. Getting it out? So these are the unorganized idea we discuss, and you're sticking into the, as I told you, the first step, you transfer your ideas into the sticky notes. So these are the sticky notes. Second step, what you need to do, after thinking of who can tell me I picture these ideas, unorganized idea, just try to put under the three headers, three issues. Can you do it out? Are you able to? Is it visible all
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
ideas? So you can you put, you all can put under the three heading, three themes, these issues? What are the three issues under the three key topics? Just read it out and just try once. Okay, what are the issues? Because this is step 2, you need to clarify the key topics and related concept actually. So they are the unorganized ideas. Now you need to organize it out under the headers. What are these issues? Because once the issues will be clear, then we need to decide the key topics. And then as per the key topics, key learning points will be describing into the next, organizing the material. So just try to do it out. Not enough call center stuff. These are the unorganized idea. How you'll be putting under the 3 issues or 3 headers, 3 themes. Can you try?
Yeah, in broad sense, we can say first one is customer level, employee level, and system level.
Customer level, where you are seeing it out. Definitely problem is why we are having so many customer services problem.
Yes.
But issues is, what is the issue? Not enough call center staff, low staff morale, untrained staff, then staff feel underappreciated, inexperienced managers. Under which issue we can put it out, all these matters? Under the staff issues. So first head, yeah. So first we can use the first issue is the staff issues.
Staff issue.
All these are the staff issues actually. Not enough staff, low staff morale, then the untrained staff, then inexperienced managers, then the demotivated staff. So staff feel underappreciated means they are demotivated.
Yes.
Getting it? So these all we can, this way only you need to organize it out. So the first issues is the staff issues. Under this we can put it out all the under the one heading. Okay. Then the second issue, as you said, the second issues, what is the second issue? System issue.
Systems
as you said.
not
Exactly.
there.
System issue. No standard system. No measure of what is good and bad. There's no measuring system. Getting it out. So there's a system issues is there. So second heading should be system issues. And the third is a varying product quality. That means there is a quality issue. Okay, there's a quality issue, or we can put it in the header of the what can be the production issue. They are producing the varying product quality. The quality is varying of the product. Okay, so the 3 issues this way only step 2. So now we have clarified the key topics. We are having the 3 key topics. We are having the staff issues, we are having the production issues, we are having the system issues. So this way we can clarify the key topics, the related concepts. Are you understanding? So step 2, we need to, once we are having the learning objective of the step 1, then we need to clarify the key topics, on which key topics we need to plan the sessions actually. Okay, understanding it out? Is it clear? Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, no, yes.
Okay, and the third step then we'll be moving towards the organizing the material. What do you mean by that? So once you have the general idea of what you need to cover, then draft a lesson outline. List all the points that you need to cover in the order in which you will cover them. So here you can use the 5E learning cycle actually to link information of trainees, existing skills and knowledges. So this is actually 5E learning model. Anybody is aware of this 5E learning model? Anyone? It's a very traditional model. For organizing the material, we can use this model actually. This is giving you the clear roadmap. What is this model is all about? Anyone? Third step, we are organizing the material. First step, we are writing the learning objective. Learning objective, because using the learning objective as a guide, the trainers are creating the rest of the plan, the steps. So second step, we are deciding the key topics. So unorganized ideas, we are putting under the organized headings. So key topics, we are deciding it out. And the third, we are organizing the material. That means how you'll be, we are listing all the points that we need to cover in our session. We are in the order in which you will be covering them. So it's a draft or lesson plan outline. So this is the course outline we are drafting at the organizing the material. So how we are organizing it out? For that I said कि here at this step you can use the 5E learning model to organize your material. The 5E model is actually the learning model based on the constructive theory. So that promotes actually the collaborative active learning, where students work together to solve the problems and investigate new concepts by asking questions, by observing, by analyzing, and drawing the conclusions. As you can say, it's a 5E is a engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate.
Evaluate.
Yes. So how you'll be engaging the student, through which activity you are going to engage the student, how you'll be exploring hands-on activity. What? How you'll be exploring? The students investigate the phenomenon. Prior knowledge is challenge. What is the challenge of the participants? Prior knowledge is always the challenging. So how to explore the your ideas with them actually. So ideas are created and explored at this level. So how you'll be exploring? So you need to decide it out. Then how you'll be explaining the concept. The so whatever you what they have learned and experienced, how you'll be explaining them actually what they need to experience and learn. Then how you'll be elaborating your concept, how you'll be going to the depth of the topic and then evaluating it out. So this is the actually method 5E learning. This is a traditional model actually, and it can misfire also actually. Because why? Because this is traditional model which tells the trainees they should move one phase to next phase in a linear fashion, and in this sense actually it can misfire, because as engagement is the first. What is the engagement come first, and then exploring, explaining, elaborating, and then evaluating, they wraps up the process. So we are starting from the engagement and we are wrapping up from the evaluation actually. Okay, so it can be engagement, we are starting from the beginning in fact, and that's why it is not, because the linear fashions we are moving into this model actually, so it can misfire also. We can change the sequences in the package. Doesn't mean that we should be deciding the engaging activities first. But yes, this is just to organize a how to move in an organized manner. We can use this 5E learning model actually. And this is the 5E learning was a first you decide how to engage the candidate, then how to explore with them, how to explain them, how to elaborate them the concepts, and then how to evaluate what they have learned and how much they have learned and whether they have learned or not. Okay, so that you need to evaluate them. So this is the model, and once we are organizing, now we are having the data, all this data, and then activity, which activity, through which activity we will be doing it out. Then now insert the information outline into your training plan template. Okay, so check back against your initial brainstorming document to make sure that you have covered everything that you need to say. Whatever you need to say, whatever you need to do, it should be covered into that. And also compare your template with your objective for the session to make sure that you will achieve them. So keep on comparing with the learning objective actually. So okay, are we on the right track or not? So once you have organized the material, once you are having the learning objective, then once you are having the key topic, then you have organized the material, then next step you are moving with the plan the presentation techniques. So methodologies, which instructional method you are using. So we have already plan the actually now think about how you will teach your to your participants different style. Have decided Hello. 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 Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you see the slides?
No, no,
Or
slides are not.
on again. Slides are not shown. No, that's it. That is the problem. So much difficulty we are facing. It's still not visible.
No, ma'am.
It's not sharing of what is the problem today. I don't know. Shit. Just wait for a second.
Eh?
खुद को नहीं करना तुम करना करना खत्म हो गया क्या
Hello. Madam, you are unmute. You need to unmute and now your presentation is also coming.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, 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 ma'am.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm so sorry. Can you see the slide now?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, so much problem is coming today actually. So I'm so sorry to all of you. Talking about it, you are the presentation techniques actually. So presentation techniques is so very important because this is the very important because learning styles vary widely. So through which learning styles you are going to make the participants learn, that you need to decide whether learning you want them to learn by hearing, with that is auditory, when or the visual you want them to learn by seeing, you need to learn by doing, that is a kinesthetic physical learning styles. So you need to decide. What I'm going to tell you is the step 4, you need to decide the learning styles, the plan, the presentation technique by which learning styles you need that the participant should learn. Okay, so that is the phase right now. So what is happening actually, it's tempting to try to pin down one perfect way of learning, but it can also be very dangerous. So 2-3 styles you need to mix up here also when you are presenting your training actually, because just to make the student engage, just to make your presentation appealing, it's always advisable to take the 2-3 learning styles, actually adapt the 2-3 learning styles, because everyone's approach to learning is based on a complex mix of strengths and preferences. And what, so however helpful it would be to find out how much each of us does it best, there are many reasons why even asking the question is far from straightforwardness. So you need to decide ki which by through which learning styles you need to make your session engaging, you need to make it appealing, and you need to make it interesting. So that is decided at the step 4. One step 4 is there, then I can, then the step 5 I had shown ki what are the steps we are using. Now you can come to the all the steps actually. So now we have defined the learning objective, we have clarified the key topics, then we have organized the material, we have decided the techniques, methodology and the learning styles. Now you need to include the evaluation. So this is the step 5, including the evaluation. So now think about when you will check that candidates or the participants have understood the key points. So here build in the learning checks and questions and answer the sessions and include these in your templates. So question and answer round you can include here. Evaluation you can done by the simple method also. You may want to create a simple on or effective offline questionnaire, and that will be helping you to take the feedback of the student, or you can use the Kirkpatrick model of the level 4 actually. So here by evaluation we have discussed in the last session also, you can evaluate your training programs either through the simple offline questionnaires by taking the feedback of the students on the through those questionnaires, and you can evaluate, do the evaluation of your training program, or either you can go for the organized evaluation methodologies, that is the Kirkpatrick 4-level training methodology, in which level 1 we are what we are checking it out in the first level of the Kirkpatrick models. Who can tell such a common model? Level 1, what we are doing for the evaluation?
Reaction, ma'am.
Exactly. At what time we are taking the reactions?
Immediately after the training.
Immediately after the training we are taking, or is the training
Pardon, ma'am?
in between the training? Yeah, when the
Both
training
can
are
be done,
going.
ma'am. Both can be done. Both can be.
And what about the level 2? Because there is a 4-level Kirkpatrick model. We are evaluating the training for the 4 levels. So second level, what we are doing? It's a learning level.
Learning.
Yeah, here we are taking
What learning has
or
taken
we are conducting the test actually. Okay, how much they have learned actually. Exactly. So they have learned or not, what they have learned, how much they have learned actually. So we're checking it out through the, so we are actually developing the performance test, attitude survey, we can do criterion reference test, we are conducting it out. So here, this is the testing model. When we are conducting this is level 2, the learning we are checking after the completion of, immediately after the completion of the training program. Getting it out. So we are conducting the test actually, how much they have learned. Third level is the behavior. This is the application level. What the behavioral changes has come after this training impact, and how much the transfer of learning has been done. Transfer of learning. At the level 3, we are checking the transfer of learning, the application part. And the level 4 will be the
results.
Impact on business. Impact on business. What is the impact of of this training on the business? So here we are linking the training with the organizational success. Organizational performance. Yeah, exactly. So this way we are including these criteria at the step 5, and the step 6 will be the focus on the timing. So timing, yeah. So finally think about the timing of your session. So some concepts or skills will take more time to master then others. So identify these upfront actually and allow the trainees or the participants the extra time to absorb or practice the materials. So you need to actually, being the professional trainer, actually need to record the time that you will allocate for each concept or section on your training plan, and make sure that you have allowed the plenty of time to focus on the core concepts. Core concept, the main part which will be the part of the training plan actually, we need to focus more on the core concept. We need to give the much time to the core in explaining the core concept actually. And if you don't have enough time, then you need to reduce the number of topics and that you plan to cover. So these are the timing. Focus on the timing is very, very important. If you will be poor timing will be there, then the sheet training program will go waste. Your session will be going waste. So timing or the focusing on timing is again the step 6 is a very important steps actually. So this way within the 6 steps we are developing a session plan. So now I'll be showing you the sample session plan actually. The simple template I have shown. So through the steps, we are deriving the data and we are inserting into the sample plan. And how does the sample plan look like? You can see it out. The example of the training session plan actually. You can see it out. First is the learning objective. Example I have shown you. Okay, example is to train the new team members in a call center how to handle the challenging customer calls more effectively. You can see it out which concept of the learning objective, which model we have followed for the writing the learning objective. Who can recall? For defining the learning objective, which model we used?
Model
Yeah.
learning
Yeah, which model we referred?
AD model that
ABCD model.
ABCD.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, A for audience and B for behavior. That's why I said two are mandatory, and the C and D, condition and degree, defining condition and degree, is optional. So here you can see it out. Who is the audience in learning objective? To train the new team members in a call center, how to handle challenging customer calls. So this is the new team members. Audience is the new hirings, okay, of the customer call department. So customer call more effectively. And now you can see the sample. What is written first? Key points. Then training, aids, tools, then time, then learning check. How we are going to measure it out, what they have done. Then you can see, I'll be showing out at the stages, because in the template I had shown you that there was a stage actually. So first stage is introduction. Then second is main session. What you'll be covering into the main session, what will be the training tools you'll be using, then timing, and then learning check. Okay. Then the third part is the conclusion. What will be, how you'll be concluding it out. So you need to summarize the practical method, then the wrap up questions, and then evaluation. This will be the conclusion time. So this is the sample of the your training plan. So first introduction, you need to have the learning objective, then you need to key points under the stages. Introduction, under the introduction there should be the key points. Under the main session there will be the key points. Under the conclusion there will be the key points, and then training adds accordingly. Okay, then the timing, and then the learning check. Okay, how you are going to keep the check on the learning of the participants actually. So this is the example. So this way we are preparing the training plan. So these are the steps we are following for the preparation of the training plan, and it is always advisable to use the training plan template, and then use these steps, derive the data from these steps, and then insert into it out, and then you prepare the organized training plan. So when we come to the if I'll come to summarizing the training session plan actually, so what does it cover? Then you can see it out. Training session plan includes the topic, summary of the key points, training objectives, duration of each activity in each session, then the training contents, training methods or activities, then breaks, then exercise to warm up, question to test understanding, and then finally conclusion. So these are the total overview of the training session plan. So these are the things we are including into the training session plan. Any question you need to ask from the training session plan, then you can ask. We are having the very shorter time, only training budget I need to cover right now. Have you understood what is the training session plan? Why we are using it out? Why we are using the training session plan? Who can tell? Why we are using the training session plan? Why we are using the training session plan? Why we are preparing it out? Who can tell?
It's a I mean, correct approach to, I mean, on the track. I mean, otherwise will be deviate
to-
from the main objective of the.
Yeah, to move in the organized fashion.
Yes, organized
The training.
fashion. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
exactly. It takes time. Like a training plan, it takes time to plan a good training session.
Yes.
And however you and your trainers and trainee both are going to be benefited by this preparation actually. As you plan, you visualize each step of the session. And this helps you ensures that you have thought about everything that you need to say, that you need to present, and that you need to, what information in a logical order you need to present. That everything you can visualize actually when we are preparing the training plan. And you will also be able to prepare for points that people might find difficult to understand. And what a how where it is facilitating actually after your session you can use your plan to work out whether what went well and what didn't, so that you can adapt it for future training sessions. Actually you can take
Yes.
the modifications, and this is helping us being trainer in improving ourselves actually. So preparation, the training plan is very important actually. So you need to learn the how to prepare the training plan. Okay. And lastly, the most importantly part is that a training session plan will actually be invaluable for a substitute instructor. Okay. If you can't make it to classroom, then the another trainer can be give the sessions as per the training session plan. Actually he is having all the points what he or she needs to cover it up. So it is helping the substitute trainer also, instructor also giving the training. So that is the reason we are preparing the training plan actually. So training session plan, we have done it out, what is steps, what is training session plan, and at which stage we are creating, at which phase of the AD model we are creating the training plan. Tell me. Such a difficult question to tell where we are creating the training plan, at which phase?
Design, ma'am.
Designing phase we are creating. Designing phase we are ending with the instructional model of the training program. Which model of the training program we need to work on? Training plan we are creating at the development phase. That's why I started with the development phase. Output, and now I will be referring to the first slide of mine. You can see it out. What is the output of the development phase? Is the instruction development plan, the training plan. You can call it the program development plan, which includes, what does it include? Total, I have summarized it out. The topic, instructional method, instruction material, instructional equipment, trainees and trainer manual, facilities, trainer, everything it includes actually for the session. So when you'll be planning for the training sessions, then you are organizing the key concepts for the learning actually, and which is the part of the instructional strategy. So this is the input we are getting from the designing phase. Then process is the instructional strategy. We are planning for the training, and then we are planning for the sessions, lesson plan we are planning, which includes, so this is the output, and the output of the development phase become the input for the which phase? Tell me. Output of this, what is the next phase of the development in the AD model? Because we are referring to the AD model. Output of the development phase will become
implementation phase.
input of the Exactly, input of the implementation phase, right?
Yes.
So you should need to understand it out. So now I'll be coming to the training budget actually. So training plan, preparation of the training plan, we have understood ki what is it, and this is the output of the development phase, where we are development phase, we are planning, creating the training plan actually. Why it is important, we have already discussed it out. What steps we follow, you can see 6 steps we are following it out, and the through the training template, training plan template, we can make it in organized manner. Okay, and then we'll be coming to the training budget. So training budget, preparation of the training budget. Training budget is actually 3 ways we are calculating the training development budget actually. So anybody is aware of these 3 ways? Can you see it out? What are the ways? These 3 ways, can you see it out?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
First way is total yearly
yearly
salary
salary.
budget into 1% to 3% equals to total training budget. What is it actually? देखिए क्या होता है, there are a number of different ways organization determines what their training budget for the year will be. One of the most common formula is this actually, for determining what amount to dedicate to learning. Is using a percentage of what is being spent on salaries on annual basis. However, that may not always work for every organization, but this is the first way actually. So this calculation takes the total salary budget for the entire year and multiplies it by 1% to 3%. And this percentage is varied as per the size of the organization, as per the type of the industry, or other organization specific we can take in consideration for deciding whether should be the 1% or 3%, or it should be varying between the 1% to 3%. Getting it out?
Yes,
So,
yes.
but this is the way of the training budget actually, that this is the method which ensures that the organization is strategically committed to the employee learning and development and the leadership development. Whichever companies are adopting this way of calculating the training budget, they are ensuring, they are reflecting that they are strategically committed towards the employee learning and development, and they are committed towards the leadership development actually. And this method actually, this could be also be based on what the company has spent on training in the past. For example, in the last year we spent, the company has spent 2.5% of the total salary on the training. Then if training needs appear to be same this year, then that same percentage can be applied to the next year. So when we are calculating either the 2 ways, we can apply the formula, or the percentage we can decide what we have been percentage had of the total annual salary has been spent on the training last year, and if the training need appears to be same, we can continue with the same percentage to the next year as well. Getting it out in this way? Are you understanding this formula? Whatever is the annual salary budget of the company, then percentage of that will be allocated, keep the corpus separately for spending on the training of the employee training. So this will be the total training budget actually. It is a formula which is used by the professional company actually, where they are committed towards the employee training and the leadership development actually. Second formula, if I'll be coming it out, second formula is the industry specific per employee average into FTEs equals to total training budget. Anybody can explain me this formula? What is it? Industry specific per employee average multiplied by FTEs equals to is the total training budget. This is the second way we are calculating the training budget actually. And which companies will be going ahead with by this?
It's a per employee salary average. I mean, total salary average. In that industry specific, it depends upon the industry, like insurance and manufacturing and like
particular.
that. Particular
अब देखिए यही
industry.
होता है कि which company actually, because here
Yes.
calculating a training budget based on the reputable industry report.
Right.
What the reputable industry, what the branded company which are having the same nature of business and which are having the similar sizes. actually what exactly they are spending on the training actually. So
Right.
use these reports to not only ensure that training and professional development investments and strategies are aligned with the trends, but also ensures competitiveness within the talent market. The companies who believe into the competitions within the talent market, always they who want to benchmark their trainings, they are always going for this formula actually. Here is that they are calculating, they are consulting to the reputable industry report what the is a great way to benchmark against similar companies in size and industry, and then they are spending the similar budget amount onto the training actually. So this is the second formula. So we're using the reports of the reputable company. We are calculating the training budget actually, and they're benchmarking their training into the industry. Same nature of business and the same sizes company, what they are spending on the training program, and the similar they will be adapting it out actually. FTEs we have discussed. What is the FTEs?
The full-time employees,
Full-time
employee.
equivalent. Exactly. Full-time equivalent. So what is this actually? Full-time equivalent is the number of hours considered full-time.
Yes.
It is a unit that indicates workload of an employee actually. And that way they are calculating it out. So FTE 1.0 means is equivalent to full-time work.
Yes.
0.5 FTE 0.5 is half of a full work. So this way
Yes.
only they are calculating it out. Okay, so this is the second formula. The third most commonly used into the most of the company, into the smaller company, the startup company, they go ahead with the third ways actually, which is the predetermine the training needs, estimated cost, and calculate the training estimation. So this is the actually, this actually is not the formula in fact, and this calculation takes us sorry, actually what is happening in this, it's less of a formula and more of an estimation
Estimated.
based
Yes.
estimation based on the training needs of the organizations. What kind of training is needed in the organizations? So we are doing the training need analysis, and then we are deciding it out. For example, I will be giving you, because this actually is starting by identifying your key training initiative. For example, the company decided that next year we should plan for the training initiatives like a leadership development or the safety training, which should need to go for that, or we should go for the retention is very pure, so we should go for the new hire onboarding training actually. We should go for the supervisory level, middle level retention is very poor, so we should go for the supervisory level training. So this way what we are doing, we are deciding it on identifying the key training initiatives into the company, and the next step we are estimating the cost for each initiative. That would take in consideration what they would be taking, how will be estimating the cost by including the number of participants, then instructor or the trainer's fees, then travel and living cost, material cost, facility cost, food cost, these will be included into that estimation. Getting it out, and that way we are calculating the training budget. So this is the thought which is very commonly used actually. So when we are, if I'll be concluding on the three ways actually, so what I'll be saying it out, that there is a pros and cons to each method of calculating a training budget. There is a pros and cons to each method actually. For instance, if you're using the yearly salary budget multiplied by a percentage, may not be ideal. Where it will not be ideal actually, if the company is going under the acquisitions or the company is under the stage of hyper growth, then this methodology may not be ideal methodology to calculate the training budget plan, because here we will be taking in an average, we are deciding it prior. Getting it out, so this may not be the ideal in case the company is going for the acquisition. Then second, using reported averages and FTEs may not accurately represent the needs of your organization, because in the second methodology we are not taking care of the training, what organization is needing, what kind of training the organization is needing. We are consulting to the the specific industry in the market actually. Getting it out. So we are not
Yes.
focusing on what our company, our industry is requiring, which kind of training is required. So we are not doing the training analysis at the organization level in our organization. So we are referring to the other industry report actually. What the same similar business and the similar size of companies are spending into it out. So this may not be ideal in that cases actually. So third, when we be coming, determining the training need of your organization is not always ideal. Why it is not when it is not ideal? Due to the unforeseen circumstances. You just look, Corona has come actually. The company
Right.
would have gone for all these. So what is happening actually due to unforeseen circumstances, like what is happening right now? Natural calamity has come. What will be happening? We'll be moving ahead with a different type of training, a change in leadership. Due to unforeseen circumstances, what is happening actually, like a change in leadership or a triggered training we need to go ahead with for all employees, such as right now the government has imposed the mandatory training like a POS training. Getting it out.
Right.
The harassment training, workplace safety training need to go it out. So whichever method, what I am trying to make you understand, whichever method of calculation you may choose, it's always important to remain flexible and try to anticipate shifts and change to your training budget. So be flexible. You can stick to one way of calculating the training as per is the situation, as per the training need analysis there. So you need to be flexible actually. So you may choose. It's always important to remain flexible. Getting it out. So no one is ideal. Every ways there is a pros and cons are there. So depending upon the situation, that present situation is always wise. If everything is going on a smooth, you can go by the first ways. If everything is going as smooth, you can, if the funding is not a problem, you can go for the second ways also. If you want to the company industry want to benchmark themselves into the market actually as per their competitors, in fact they can go for the second ways actually. And the startups and the new companies who are not spending, the smaller companies, they can go as per the training initiative they are taking, and then estimation, they can estimate the cost actually, they can go for the third way actually. So these are the complete training three ways to calculate the training development budget. So we have done these two things we need to cover today actually, preparation of the training plan and the training budget today. Any question you need to ask to me till here, you can ask me. Is it clear, the three ways of the training budget?
Yeah, ma'am. I think third one is most of the companies. I mean, around 90%
Yeah,
companies in India, they are
that's what I'm
doing.
saying.
Go for third one. I think.
Yeah, multinational, like they are having they actually who are multinational company. What is happening actually? The smaller company doesn't have the fund, so they are going
Okay.
as per the requirement. This is the third way.
Mm.
Third way they are going for. Whenever the training is required, so they will be planning for the training and then they'll be estimating the cost actually, including all these ingredients. The number of participants, how many participants will be there, what will be the trainer's fee, what are traveling and the living cost, fooding and lodging cost will be there, what will be the material cost. So this is the third way that they will be going as per the requirement actually. But the multinational company who are the professional company, very professional company actually, who are committed towards the employee development actually, because they are having that's why they are having the L&D department.
Right. Okay.
So whom the company who are having the L&D department, they are strategically committed towards the employee learning and development and towards the leadership development actually. So they are going for the first way.
First.
They are having the fix. PSUs also, the public sectors also, they are having the clear budget, the separate corpus actually to spend on the training. Going it out. Maybe it will be formality into the PSUs. They are showing it out. देखिए हम लोग अभी ISD के अंदर, that's why we used to tap to the PSUs because they are having the clear cut corpus of the budget and the budget actually to spend on the training. Maybe it should be the eyewash to the owner, but they are having that, going for the first one. They are having that. So that depends upon actually. But most of the company, as you'll be, as you are saying, and the right time, the pandemic time. So they must be going for they cannot predetermine which training is needed because unforeseen. If there will be the unforeseen conditions, you cannot go for the predetermined training. Getting it out?
Yes, yes.
You need to
Yes.
plan the training as per the need of that, what situation is demanding, and then only you can go ahead. Okay, anything else? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Thank you.
Preparation of the training plan is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so anything you need to ask? So first session we did the managing the implementation process. Okay, and the second we are doing the development phase. And in that implementation phase, what we are doing? We are processing the effective implement, how to implement the effective training program. For that, we are doing the dry run and the pilot running, and then output was evaluation. How to do the cost benefit analysis. Development phase, we are creating the training plan, and then we are creating the training budget. Okay, so these are the phases, because I told you in the paper 8 actually will be referring to the 3 phases actually: development phase, implementation phase, and the evaluation phase will be the output of the implementation phase. So we are touching evaluation phase. For the planning the session, training session plan also, the evaluation is required. So we need to measure the whether the candidates or participants are learning or not, and if they're learning, how much they are learning. Need to measure it out actually. So evaluation will be the also the part. So first, second, we are not, but the managing the training process when we are talking about the first session also, I had explained the total steps we need to have the clarity of the AD model actually. The total 9 steps we had discussed in first session actually. All together, what steps we are inserting in between the AD model, you need to know total 9 steps we are going for. So we are deciding the learning principles and after the designing part, then the instructional method, instructional strategy. What is the instructional strategy? You need to, because everything will move around the instructional strategy. Once instructional model is with us, then we are going to the instructional strategy. So total instruction work should be conceptual clarity. Being trainer, we should have the conceptual clarity of the instructional decisions, instructional approach, instructional framework actually. So we should how we are moving with the instructional model. So at the designing phase, it is decided, and then we are moving at the development phase. We are moving ahead with the training plan. We are instructional strategy, which strategy which will be adapting, and as per that, which instructional method will be adapting, and then instruction which skill will be going ahead with the most specific. Once we are having all this clarity, then we are planning this. Okay,
Yes,
okay, okay.
yes, nice.
So should I wind up or anything else you need to ask?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So over to Babaji, are you there? Babaji?
Yes. Ek
Yes.
minute. Yeah, okay. I think we can
Okay.
conclude.
Yes.
I
So
was
it was
Thank
a
you, ma'am.
small topic actually. Yeah. Welcome. Welcome, Rupesh.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
we,
ma'am.
Thank
we
you,
had
sir.
the internet problem and all those.
Yeah. So networking
You
issues actually
you
somehow
can
managed. Thank you for that.
you can end the meeting, madam. As a
Yeah.
host, you
Okay.
can just end. I think that will work.
Acha, I am the host actually. Okay. Okay. Okay.
You just end right side, na? End the meeting.
Hmm.
That's good.
Thank you, Babaji. Thank you.
Okay, bye bye.
Okay. Bye bye.